Well, bright and early on Tuesday morning, and here we are. So we're getting ready to spread the glue. Start spreading the glue. Anyway, once we start that process, we cannot stop. The glue has a several-hour work time, but that can go very fast. So I've decided I'm actually going to start in the middle. So I got my crosshairs. These tiles are going to go in at an angle, a 45-degree angle, and I'm going to start tiling them down. I should give this one more final sweep. Once we put that glue down, there's no more sweeping, no more cleaning. That's it. I gotta eat something. It's getting hungry. I'm getting hungry, not it, me. But we got that fixed, a little patch right there. Glad I found it though. When I found it. Because if I were spreading glue and I found that, oh my God, all bets are off. It's go time. I will be pissed. Or shit, if I was putting tile down. Like, oh no, you son of a... Well, anyway, we found it, we fixed it, we cured it. Oh, I gotta take this nail out from the chalk line. So this is the dead center of the room. I've done a couple of floors like this before, but using peel and stick. And I always did it the amateur method. I would just start with a full tile at one corner and work my way out. That isn't the right way to do it. A professional wants to find the center of the room and center the tiles so that you don't wind up cutting, in theory, you don't end up cutting a tile that's, 1/4 inch wide because you have a 1/4 inch to fill. Been there, done that. That's not how you do it. So the thing is, we're going to run into situations where, this is in a regularly shaped room. The cabinet starts right there. So we could wind up with a 1/4 inch wide tile right there. But at least between the cabinet and the wall, it won't be that way. And since we're following the same pattern throughout here, well, who knows what we're going to come up across. So let me get fed, and then we'll start working on doing the deed. So yeah. All right, the glue's on. Now we wait. We have about an 8-hour window to get our tiles down. There's a ridge right there, and I can't get to it now. Where is it? Right there. That's probably going to be a problem. Might have to do something about that, but it's too late. I can't get over there now to fix it. So the glue went down pretty smoothly. Now we wait for it to turn clear. I can see my chalk line. I might have to put a new chalk line down because the crosshair this way, it went up with the glue. So I can barely see that one, but at least I have a reference point. I know where it is. I see a little dry spot right there. But overall, I mean, I can still go back and, as I'm putting tile down, I can go back and touch up a few areas if I need to. But this takes about half an hour to 45 minutes to turn clear. I got some on the baseboard. You can see it already turning yellow. I'll touch that up later. I didn't wipe it off fast enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually start in the middle and work my way over. Normally you don't do that. Normally you start at the edge, but you mark off where the tile begins and ends. And, whatever. I ain't got time for that. But you can walk on this. Once it's tacky, you can walk on it with clean shoes. It won't cause a problem. I've seen it done. I actually watched at work. I watched the professionals do it. I got a few little tips and tricks and stuff just by observing. And I can so those guys use a different adhesive. The stuff they use, they would put it on overnight. They'd spread their glue And then the next morning, they would come in and start laying tile. I found that intriguing. The stuff they used was green. I don't know who makes it, but it was green in color. I know that. And it must have like an extended dry time or something. So the nice thing about this adhesive is it actually draws the tile down to the floor. So as you put your tile down, as the stuff cures, it actually sucks the tile down. It's the weirdest thing. So you might find the next day, you might actually find adhesive oozing through the gaps in the tile. And you gotta, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rent a 100-pound roller from Home Depot today. Actually, I might run out and get it now. Or maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm not really sure. But I do need to rent a roller. A lot of people don't roll their floors in residential installations, but I'm going to because it's the best way to do it. It just makes sure that that tile is down there. So once you put it down, you roll it out, and it just ensures that that tile is stuck where it needs to be. Okay, so now that the adhesive is clear, mostly clear, I should be able to start laying some tile. I'm putting on my slippers. I don't want to ruin these, but I'm going to ruin them, so fuck it. I'm going to use them, whatever. I don't want to get the stuff all over my regular shoes and then track that throughout the house. So, yeah. There'll be some sacrificial lambs. Unfortunately, perfectly good slippers might be those sacrificial lambs. So let's get this done, shall we? Now, as I said it earlier, when you start laying the field of tiles, it's going to go fast. And that's what we got. So now, we go through the tedious process of cutting in all of the half tiles and partial tiles. So that's it's going to take some time. I had to rent a 100-pound roller to roll this out. Once I get all the tiles in before the adhesive sets, I have to roll it all out. I would not want to do this for a living. Oh yes, sure, there's money in flooring, absolutely. But it's also tedious, and when you get compound cuts, I mean, things get real dicey. This one came out okay. This one, not so much. I'm not proud of that. It looked real close. I mean, I'm going to notice it. What I'm going to do, though, I'm going to actually put black silicone in that gap so you won't see it. It'll hide it like it never happened. And as for this ledge here, that's getting covered with a transition strip, so that's not going to be visible. There will be a transition strip here as well. I'm going to put one there. Doesn't need it, but I'm going to put one there anyway. And I'm going to put quarter round around the base. There's only so much, unless you're a professional and you can do this just so. You have to leave a gap, first of all. You got to leave a gap because it will expand and contract. But unless you're really good, I mean, your edges aren't going to look that great. The other thing that makes this a little more complicated is I put these at an angle. Because I did that, it does make it a little more tricky to install because the cuts aren't, they're harder to, the angles are more difficult to figure out. I can't put it any other way. For me, they are. If I were to do this 45 degrees that way, it would be a lot easier. And I knew that. But I wanted this is the look I was going for. So because of that, because of what I wanted, I had to make it a little more complicated. Such is life. But hey, I think the end result, well worth the effort. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-paint a bunch of quarter round, and I'm just going to take a day and just zap it all in with I'm going to get a brad nailer. I don't have a brad nailer, but now I can have an excuse to buy one. And I'm going to go put in some quarter round trim around the baseboards and be done with it. I am almost done. Actually, I am almost done. The hard work is really getting this entryway done was the hardest, and I knew that, so I started there first. This was going to be the most difficult.
It had the most tricky cuts. The doorway cuts. Anyway, not too happy with how it came out. But it's good enough for me. I got to go to the hardware store. Maybe tomorrow I'll get some black caulking. And I'm going to get that all caulked in. And black and white caulking, actually. No, just black. And then I'm going to get a strip for that. And yeah, it's going to be fun. But I spread the glue, what, 12:30 I think I did that? So I've been at this all day. Well, almost all day. I think I started at 12. Oh my god, I love it. I love it. 8:53 p.m. and it's done. All done. All rolled out and all done. Oh my, I love it. I love it. Amelia came home from her mom's and she just jumped for, she's like, oh my god, I love it. I'm like, I know you would. I knew it. I mean, look at the color scheme that we have. It's perfect. I wouldn't change a thing. I really wouldn't. So what's left? I need like 5 coats of wax. I took a rag and some WD-40. Probably shouldn't have used WD-40, but it's the only thing that'll get the adhesive residue off the tiles. The only thing that works. The Henry adhesive remover that they sell doesn't work on this stuff. It doesn't touch it. So, oh man. Now, rolling out your tiles, they say it's not required. But I say do it because as I'm rolling the tiles, I can hear you can actually hear the tiles settling. Like it was really pushing the adhesive and the tiles together so that they're more uniformly bonded. And it reduces the likelihood of any tiles popping. I should have done this to the bathroom floor. There's a lot of things I should have done differently on the bathroom floor. But you learn as you go. You know, sometimes more than others. In my case, yeah, you definitely learned a lot in the process here. But this floor is good and done. All I got to do now is tomorrow I'm going to put down my wax, several coats of wax, and then I'm going to go and pick up some quarter round, a bunch of quarter round, and or maybe half round. I'm not sure, quarter round or half round. We'll see what I feel like getting. And I'm gonna pre-paint it all, and I'm gonna staple it in place, and that'll be it for this kitchen. So, then I'm gonna put the appliances back, and then we're gonna put the same backsplash we did over here. We're gonna put it over there. That's gonna look nice. That's gonna look real nice. But it's done, man. Yeah. All right. And the squeakiness is pretty much, I mean, it's still there, but not like it was. You know, not like it was. My God. Question of the day. Will a carpet fit under this door? That was my concern from the get-go. Let's see. Fits. Boy, howdy, it fits. Ha. Well, anyway, that's good news, man. That's good news. I didn't think it would fit. It fits. Okay. Let me lock these doors. I think my car windows are still open. I should probably close those. Yeah. All right. 4:16, the next day. Here we are. I got 5 coats of wax on this beautiful floor. Look at this. Got the dishwasher back in position. Actually just ran a cycle of dishes through it just to clear the lines. I will be putting the aluminum trim back, but I'm going to have to cut new trim because the old stuff is too short now. It fits really nicely in the opening. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, I couldn't be happier with that. I got the stove back in, well, sort of, and I got the cabinet back in place. And now I am just cutting or mitering and installing some what they call shoe molding. Shoe molding has a profile very similar to quarter round, but it's actually taller and it looks like a shoe. It looks like a shoe. Quarter round is obviously, you know, perfectly quarter of a circle. This is not. It's a little bit taller on one side, and it looks a little bit nicer. I actually had to buy another pneumatic tool. This is a Metabo pin nailer or brad nailer. I've always wanted a brad nailer. It's like ever since I was a kid. No, just kidding. Always wanted a brad nailer because they're very, very handy to have. Let's say you want to build a bunch of birdhouses and you don't want to sit there and tack nails in with a hammer. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, just like a crown stapler, like I had to use on the floor. The brad nailer it's its own thing, and if you don't have one, get one. They make electric ones too, but I wanted the pneumatic one. So yeah, moving along. The only thing, oh yes, and I rerouted the water line for the fridge. Now it comes through the floor under the cabinet and goes through a hole in the side of the cabinet. That way the excess hose can be stuffed under the cabinet where it's out of the way and not coiled up haphazardly in the floor joists like it was before. So yeah, coming along. I still have to paint this trim while I brainstorm ways to get the fridge here. Maybe I have to rent an appliance dolly. I don't know. It's going to be a nightmare. That's really the one thing I'm dreading right now is getting that fridge back in place because that thing weighs a lot. It weighs a lot. Ah, yeah. It's coming together, guys. It's coming together. I got the backsplash done. Did it the same way that I did this one here. Same materials. Very overpriced, I might add. Yeah. This big sheet, that's $20. And this little brick cost me $20. Why? Well, because I needed that one spot, that one brick, the bottom corner of a full sheet, and I didn't have one, even though I had a bunch of scrap. So, yeah. So now we see if I can get this fridge in here by myself. Amelia is with her mom right now, and she won't be home for 2 days because she has a few other things she has to take care of. So I put the fridge on appliance rollers. Now, refrigerators, at least in the United States of America, refrigerators have a set of rollers that allow the fridge to be moved front to back. What they do not have are swiveling rollers or any mechanism to move it side to side. Typically you need like 2 guys and appliance straps and harness or an appliance dolly. I have neither of those things. So, without further ado, let me just prop the camera up here on the coffee maker and let's see if I can get this thing through the door. Unfortunately, there's a 1/4-inch ramp up into the kitchen. 1/4 inch might not seem like much, but when you're wheeling a 12,000-pound refrigerator, that can be I'm a little off course here. So I put ram board down on the floor to protect it. Let me get this out of here. Alright, now, this is gonna suck. Oh, this is gonna suck. Of course, it's got exposed water lines in the back. If I can't get this thing over. Try to push it from the bottom. No, huh? I can't get it over that hump. So that's a problem. So what can we do to reduce that ramp? Well, you can see I'll have a good time. What I could do is put a few more pieces of ram board underneath, and that'll give it a more slightly gentler curve. I might actually have a piece of Luan or something I could use, but getting it over the 1/4 inch. The rollers are like that big around, and they're hard plastic. So, all right, let's get some more ram board. And I'm going to put a couple of sheets under there that'll give it a slightly more, we'll see. Sweet, I got it, I got it. All by myself. I can't believe I did it. Wow. Okay. Now we got to get the front rollers out and then drop the fridge down. So it's sitting at an angle because it's sitting on its own 2 rollers on the back. I'm going to have to, this floor dips down about that much in the middle. So there's a shim. Keep. I put it there in case I lost it. That the fridge is going to have to roll on to back here. A little piece of plywood. Now I got to run the water line, hook it up. Oh, I forgot to put the rear cover on. I got to put the rear cover back on. I cleaned some of the dust out of the evaporator, or the condenser, sorry. And the only way to get into the living room is to go around the house. So I'm going to go around the house, and then I'll get that, and I'll put it in. And then we'll just push her back. Easy peasy. All done. All done. I even got some new little floor mats that are a better fit than what we had for these tiles. I'm very happy with the results. I think this is perfect. This is exactly what I was looking for. And those little shoe moldings that I put down, they it gives the baseboards a little more dimension. I love it. I love it. I love it. I might even do that actually throughout the house as I work through the next phase of repairs and such. I'd like to get the hardwood refinished professionally, and I think that these would look nice. It's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. It adds a lot of work to a simple job. But anyway, this is it. This is it, folks. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. And as the adhesive finally cures, you can see it actually suck the tile into the wood. This is a much better result than what I got on the bathroom floor. In fact, I will be redoing the bathroom floor at some point. Now that I've done all this, I've learned a few tricks, and I think that the bathroom floor will come out a lot nicer the next time around. And the bathroom floor will remain black. I think we've all agreed that that's a good color choice for the bathroom. Although black and white, it's a classic look, man. But in such a small floor, I don't see how black would work. It's such a small floor, the effect will be lost on 1 foot square tiles. One mistake. Can't really see it. Let me see if I can focus on it. A little bump right there. See that right there? that was a staple that it must have. I think I was running low on air pressure, and I had a couple of staples that didn't quite fully penetrate, and I missed one. When I went around with a hammer to knock them all down, what I should have done is I should have taken a scraper or something and run it along the floor, and it would have caught on anything that it caught on. I would whack it with a hammer. But that's I'm fine with that. That's okay. The point is, and the good thing is, I got all the other defects addressed. I've got the baseboard molding put in here, little rubber baseboard molding. That's finally in place. I didn't put it on before because I knew that the cabinet was going to be moved again, and I didn't know when I was going to do the floor, but I figured I'd wait until the floor is done to put the baseboard in on that cabinet that I installed 2.5 years ago. So almost 3 years ago. You've got the telephone jack deletion mod installed. Just put a plate over it. I was going to cover the hole and paint it, and I'm like, nah, let's just put a plate over it. Who cares? Just in case I decide to put a phone jack back in there at some point. Which isn't going to happen, because if you look at that pole over there, see that wire that's stapled to the pole? Where is it? Yeah, that's my phone line. I went out there with bolt cutters, and I did the deed myself. I called the phone company. I said, I'm not going to be using your service ever. So can you do me a solid and take the line off my house? And they said, well, sir, that'll be $500 or some bullshit. And then they said, well, you can do it yourself. And I said, oh, really? So I did. It's low voltage. No one's going to die. But anyway, yeah, that line was coming into the house. They didn't even have a network. Usually there's a network box on the side of the house. They didn't even have one of those. I don't know why this house doesn't have one. The line just went straight into the basement where it wasn't connected to anything. So I'm like, well, okay, goodbye. All right, well, that's it. It's done. We can move on with our lives. I got the living room back together. I had some scratches in the floor from the fridge that I actually took some, what the hell, Howard's, not feed and wax. I used Howard's Restore Finish, and it blended the scratches right in, so, hey. I'm actually, in that regard, I'm glad I didn't have the floor polyurethaned or refinished, because I would have ruined it just by moving the fridge. Now I've learned a few things along the way, and you can actually see where the wheels on that skateboard setup I was using. You can see where the wheels actually dug into the floor, even though I had hard ram board laid down. I'm looking at the tile. Well, maybe not. But anyway, this is all back together again. And for those of you who love computery stuff, look what I got. What is it? This is a Wi-Fi modem for the Tandy. I can't wait. This is going to be fun. This might be my next thing. All right, well, that all having been said, I think we're going to call this series closed, and I'm going to renumber all the videos to reflect the number of videos that are part of it. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.